of what we do down here in automotive technology. I got 3 of my students here today, and they are going to demonstrate a basic tire rotation. And this involves removing the tires and wheels after lifting the vehicle. We've already spotted the vehicle on the lift. One of the very important things is always make sure that you lift the vehicle correctly in the manufacturer's suggested lifting points. All right, we're going to take a pneumatic air tool known as an impact gun, and we're going to remove the lug nuts. And since there's 3 guys here, one guy's going to take the lugs off, and the other 2 are going to grab the tires, and we're going to rotate them front to rear. The way they're rotating the tires, they're rotating them front and rear. This can be done in various arrangements depending upon the vehicle and the tires that they're running. Typically with 4-wheel drive, we like to X-rotate unless the tires are directional. This particular application calls for front to rear. You can also incorporate the spare tire into the tire rotation if the manufacturer has supplied a finished wheel or a matching wheel to the other vehicle wheels. The boys are starting all the lugs by hand. It's always important to start everyone by hand, because if you cross thread one of these lugs, it sometimes can be a headache to replace it. Side and repeat that same procedure. You notice that when he run it down, the impact was not as loud or as strong as it was when he removed them. It's important that we don't over tighten them. We'll torque these once we get through with a torque wrench by hand. All right, so now we're going to lower the vehicle down, take it off the locks and lower it down. And now we're going to hand torque these wheels down to specification of 120 foot-pounds. That ensures that the hubs, the rotors, nothing has any damage done to it by over tightening. He's going to use a torque wrench, and he's going to torque that down to 120 foot-pounds. Now your tires should be rotated every other oil change, or roughly 6,000 to 10,000 miles, depending upon the manufacturer's recommendations. What this also ensures by torquing it only to 120 foot-pounds versus the impact is that if a customer has a flat on the side of the road and you use that pneumatic air tool, that impact, and tighten it down to 300 foot-pounds, the customer won't be able to get it off on the side of the road. Whereas if we torque it to 120 like it's supposed to be, they can remove it with the tire tool, the lug wrench, and be able to change that tire on the side of the road. While he's torquing these right here, these wheels and tire, the next step we're going to do is modern vehicles, they come equipped with what is known as a tire pressure monitor. This is a sensor that actually goes down into the tire wheel assembly, and it sends data from this sensor to the onboard body control module or the keyless entry module or the tire pressure module, and it tells the computer what the tire pressure is in that individual wheel. And we have to relearn the location, because when we rotate them front to rear, the computer in some cases is not smart enough to be able to sense where it's at. Some cars they will relearn, whereas other cars they have to be reprogrammed. This is one of those instances where we have to reprogram it, and as soon as he gets through torquing, we're going to show you how to do that. And you can do it with a tool like this, which is made by a company called OTC. It's a universal tool. Manufacturers have their own, or you're able to do this by simply putting the vehicle in a learn mode and letting the air out of the tires. So we'll get that as soon as he gets through with this.